Hi, I am Bernice Dinalexa Di Sumala, and I'll be introducing to you the Desuggestopedia. Desuggestopedia is an educational methodology that applies the study of suggestion to pedagogy. The term desuggest implies the elimination of negative feelings, while Suggestopedia is used to reinforce positive feelings and unlock full mental potential in learners. The approach aims to help students overcome psychological barriers and negative associations with studying, thereby enabling them to utilize their full mental capacity for learning. The theory places a significant emphasis on the power of students' feelings with a focus on eliminating limiting beliefs and fostering a positive learning environment. Furthermore, learners often establish psychological barriers that hinder the use of their full mental power. These barriers stem from fears of failure or limitations in their ability to learn. The Desuggestopedia theory, as stated by Gabriela and Mihaila in 2008, contends that these barriers must be addressed for learners to tap into their reserved mental capacity. The methodology was developed specifically to assess students in overcoming the feeling that they cannot succeed and the negative associations they may have with studying. Furthermore, Chastain in 1988 discusses the desire of teachers to expedite the learning process for using a foreign language in everyday communication. A key aspect of the Suggestopedia is increasing learners' thinking capacity by suggesting psychological barriers they bring to the learning situation. The approach involves activating the paraconscious part of the mind, situated just below the fully conscious mind, to enhance the learning experiences. As a sort, in the Suggestopedia, teachers play a crucial role in facilitating the learning process. The teacher's responsibilities include accelerating the learning of a foreign language for everyday communication. Another important aspect is suggesting the learner's psychological barriers, allowing them to overcome fears and limitations associated with learning. The teacher is also tasked with activating the paraconscious part of the learner's minds, aiming to engage cognitive processes just below the conscious level. Reminder, the Suggestopedia is not widely recognized in mainstream educational literature, and its terminology may not be commonly used. The inferred meaning suggests an approach focused on countering or eliminating hindering beliefs to promote a positive learning environment.
There are five main principles that govern the Suggestopedia. First, learning should be characterized by the joy and the absence of tension, and it is facilitated in a cheerful environment. Second, humans operate on a conscious and paraconscious level. A student can learn from what is present in the environment, even his attention is not directed to it. Third, suggestions is the means to use the normally unused mental reserves for learning. And fourth, the teacher should recognize that the learners bring certain psychological barriers with them to the learning situation, and she should attempt to desuggest them. Fifth, if the students are relaxed and confident, then they will not need to try hard to learn the language. It will just come naturally and easily.
The seven major concepts of the Suggestopedia according to Lazanov and Gatavi in year 1988. So these are the following. The first one is mental reserve capacities or MRC. Do you know that human beings use 5 to 10% of brain capacity at the most? In order to make better use of this reserve capacity, the limitations, obstacles, and barriers to learning should be suggested. So this Suggestopedia helps students to eliminate the feeling that they cannot be successful. So it means that it eliminates the negative vibe that we perceive in our brain, that we are not, that we we cannot be a successful individual. So the second one is psychological setup. So the response to every stimulus is very complex, involving many unconsciousness processes which have become automatic responses. Only when a teacher is able to penetrate the setup, engaging it in a way which allows it to be accepted and open to extensions and transformations, will the real potential of a student begin to open up. The third one is suggestion. Suggestion means so there are two basic kinds of suggestion. The first one is direct, the second one is indirect. When we say direct suggestions, it is directed to students' consciousness. In the learning experience, direct suggestions can be made in printed announcements, orally by the teachers, and by the text materials. So example is a teacher tells students that they are going to be successful. So when we say direct suggestions, it means that the teachers orally tells the students that they will become successful. The second one is direct suggestion. So direct suggestion means it should be used sparingly, for it is most vulnerable to resistance from the setup. Indirect suggestion appeals to the student's subconscious and is actually the more powerful of the two. So among the two kinds of suggestion, the direct suggestion is the most powerful. So the fourth one is successful classroom atmosphere. So as we all know that a classroom atmosphere is very important in learning. So the challenge for a teacher is to create a classroom environment that is bright and cheerful. A positive environment must be created. Classroom atmosphere is focused. So for the students to be able to be successful in their learning, the teacher should provide a cheerful and bright environment. This includes a more when we say it delves into a more child-friendly classroom or a positive classroom. So there are three aspects in focusing on classroom atmosphere. The first one is psychological. When we say psychological, it is a nurturing, supportive atmosphere in which the student feels free to try out the new information, be attentive with it, make mistakes without being put down, and in general enjoy the learning experience. So psychological aspects includes that a classroom environment is very supported, and the students may feel free to express themselves, to actively engage in classroom discussions. They are not being judged when they make mistakes, and in general, the students tend to enjoy the learning experience. The second one is educational. When we say educational, so the material should be presented in a structured fashion, combining the big picture, analysis, and synthesis. Every moment should be a didactic experience, even when the learning process is not that apparent. So in educational aspects, so the material should be presented in a creative way or in a structured way, combining the big pictures and analysis and synthesis. The third one is artistic. When we say artistic, the classroom should not be cluttered with too many posters and unnecessary objects. So it can cause distractions to the students' learning if the classrooms it's too artistic. There are many posters posted on the walls, so it may be the learning of the students may be affected. So otherwise the students don't see them. Good quality pictures should be displayed and changed every few days so that the students won't be bored. Desuggestopedia is peripheral learning. When we say peripheral learning, so this concept is based on the idea that we perceive much more in our environment. So it means that we learn in our environment, the way we see things, we learn from them. It is claimed that by putting posters containing grammatical information about the target language on the classroom walls, students will absorb the necessary facts effortlessly. So when we post some grammar information on our walls on the classrooms that the students may able to learn them unintentionally. They are changed from time to time to provide grammatical information is appropriate to what the students are studying. As I said a while ago, that the poster should be upgraded every few days so that the students will also upgrade their learning the grammar concepts. The sixth one is anti-suggestive barriers. So these anti-suggestive barriers are a filter between the environment stimuli and the unconsciousness mental activity. They are interrelated and mutually reinforcing, and a positive suggestive effect can only be accomplished if these barriers are kept in mind. The overcoming of barriers means compliance with them. Otherwise, suggestion would be doomed to failure. The suggestive process is always a combination of suggestion and suggestion, and is always at an unconscious or slightly conscious level. So the suggestive process and the suggestion is always at unconscious or slightly conscious level. So the last one is music. So music can also be a powerful facilitator of holistic full brain learning, and it is a suggestive relaxing medium. So as we have observed that some students tend to learn with music, they feel that they are relaxed when they hear music. So music is ideal for creating a mentally relaxed state. So according to Lazanov in the year 1992, researched a wide variety of means for presenting material to be learned with background music. So according to Lazanov in 1922, so he researched that a wide variety of means for presenting material to be learned with background music, which should facilitate the mentally relaxed, receptive state of mind that he found to be optimal for learning. So, another way of learning, according to Lozanov, is to hear music or to listen to music when we are studying. No, so Lazanov concluded that music stimulates, invites alertness, and its harmony and order evoke ease and relaxation. So every time we hear music, we feel relaxed. So it is only another major aspects in Suggestopedia. The Suggestopedia. So let us review. So the 7 major concepts of this Suggestopedia according to Lazanov and Gatave in year 1988 is: the first one is mental reserve capacities or MRC. The second one is psychological setup. The third one is suggestion. The fourth one is successful classroom atmosphere. And the fifth one is peripheral learning. The sixth one is anti-suggestive barriers. And the last one is music. And that would be all. Thank you.
Good afternoon, everyone. Good afternoon, ma'am. This time, we will tackle about Suggestopedia. Suggestopedia is the teaching method which is based on a modern understanding of how the human brain works and how humans learn most effectively. It was developed by a Bulgarian psychotherapist named Georgi Lazanov. The term Suggestopedia is derived from the word suggestion and pedagogy, which are often utilized to accelerate learning approaches. According to Lazanov, 1991, believed that the language could occur at a much faster rate than it ordinarily transpires. Suggestopedia was originally applied mainly in foreign language teaching, and it was often claimed that students could learn languages approximately 3 times more quickly through Suggestopedia than conventional methods. Suggestopedia have 4 key principles. First, positive atmosphere. Suggestopedia emphasizes the importance of creating a positive and relaxed environment for learning. The classroom is arranged to be comfortable with elements such as soft lighting and soothing background music. Second is authority of the teacher. The teacher is seen as an authority figure who presents information in a confident and authoritative manner to enhance the suggestibility of learners. The third one is use of music. Music is often an integral part of Suggestopedia. Background music is used during learning sessions to create a pleasant and harmonious atmosphere. This is believed to contribute to a positive emotional state, making the learning experience more enjoyable. And the last one, the role play and drama. Role play and dramatic activities are used to make the learning process more engaging and enjoyable. There are disadvantages of Suggestopedia. According to Apriana and Islamia 2011, stated that Suggestopedia also has limitation since there is no single teaching method that is categorized as the best based on considerations such as curriculum, student motivation, financial limitation, number of students, and etc. The main disadvantage of Suggestopedia are: first, the environment limitation. Most schools in developing countries have large classes. Each class consists of 70 to 80 students. One of the problems faced in utilizing this method is that it can be difficult to accommodate the number of students in the class. The second one, the use of hypnosis. Some people claim that Suggestopedia uses hypnosis, which they feel is detrimental. However, Lazanov 1991 strongly denied it. The last one, infantilization of learning. Suggestopedia can have the appearance of treating students in a childish way. There are some students who might reject the approach despite its effectiveness. And that's all. Thank you.
So hello everyone, my name is Johanna Marie Bayutas, and this evening let's discuss the three major types in psychological Suggestopedia and in their different aspects of the teaching and learning process. So let's discuss each type. So in psychological Suggestopedia, the psychological aspects of Suggestopedia centers around the teacher's ability to create and maintain a suggestive atmosphere in the classroom. So teacher's role. The teacher in this context needs to be well versed in various unconscious perceptual and thinking processes. So the emphasis is on utilizing emotional stimuli and peripheral perceptions to create an environment and conducive to learning. So methods. Techniques used may include employing positive language, creating a relaxed atmosphere, and using non-verbal cues to enhance the psychological comfort of learnings. In the objective, the goal is to tap into the learner's mental reserves by creating a positive and relaxed state of mind. So in deductive Suggestopedia, this type concerned with the structural design and integration of course elements. So in presentation, instead of presenting material in a fragmented or isolated manner, the deductive approach presents it in a global and meaningful context. The material is often presented holistically, engaging the paraconscious level of learners. So in avoidance of fragmentations, learners are not drilled in isolated skills but are exposed to the language in a more comprehensive way, fostering a deeper understanding. In objective, the aim is to integrate language elements in a way that makes sense to intuitive learning experiences. Last but not the least, artistic Suggestopedia. Artistic elements incorporates musical, visual, and dramatic arts to create an atmosphere that is joyful and conducive to engagement, relaxation, and learning. So the role of music. Background music is often used to create a positive emotional state, visual aids and props, as well as dramatic elements contribute to a rich sensory experience. Objective: the artistic approach aims to make the learning environment enjoyable and stimulating. Creative elements are used to enhance the overall atmosphere and make the learning experience more memorable. So in the summary, Lozanov three types of Suggestopedia highlight the importance of the teacher's psychological skills in creating a suggestive atmosphere, the didactic approach in structuring and presenting course elements holistically, and the use of artistic elements to make the learning environment joyful and engaging. Combining these elements aim to create an optimal environment for language acquisition learning. Thank you.